Hey guys, I'm back. I know it's been a couple days since a video, but what the hell. So, I have two things I'm going to talk about today. One, transgenders. Two, I'm going to talk about flat earthers, because their ideology is just retarded. First, with transgenders. I'm not trying to be a dick at all. But, like I said, facts don't care about your feelings. If you're a transsexual, then sure, I'll go by your pronoun. Transgender, see, in the 90s, transgender was actually considered gender dysphoria, which literally means you think you are the sex that you are not. You know, if transgender was actually true, or it could actually be physically possible, then you could actually put transgender on your birth certificate. You can go back and put it on there, but you can't do it. Ran into a buddy today who said his girlfriend would like to be called Lee, which is, I guess, one of the transgender pronouns, because she doesn't identify as a female. And I asked him, I said, does she use her vagina? Yeah. Does she go to the girl bathroom? Well, yeah. Does she bleed like normal women do? Yeah. Does she have mood swings? Yeah. She's a woman. I'm sorry, but just because you think you are a male or you think you are a female does not mean that's who you are. If you were born a male, if you're born with a dick between your legs, you are a dude, no matter what you think you are. And if one of those guys who says they're transgender says that he thinks he's a female, so he has the right to go into the women's locker room, go ahead. Try to go in a women's locker room with my little sisters. I will break every bone in your fucking body. Along with my mother, my other sister, and my older sister. We'll just take turns beating the shit out of you because you're fucking retarded. And anybody who believes this crap, I'm sorry, you're literally mainstreaming delusions. You know, if transgender is a thing, okay, if it's okay to be transgender, then it should be okay to be a paranoid schizophrenic. Instead of sending him to a psych ward and getting him help like they need to have, you're letting him sit there and say, oh, I was born a dude, I pee like a dude, I act like a dude, but I feel like I'm a female. Okay. Are you gay? No, then how are you female? I'm sorry, but I don't see the ideology of it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be transphobic. I'm not transphobic. I just don't get it. I don't see how somebody can sit there and say, oh, I feel like I'm a female. It's like that Shania Twain song, I feel like a woman. Okay, so you feel like a woman. Big deal. I feel like punching people in the face all the time. Doesn't mean I'm a punch gender. This gender dysphoria crap. Sorry, transgender crap. If you're transsexual, if you're actually transitioning into becoming the opposite sex, then sure, I'll call you by the pronoun you want. Because you're actually trying. You're not just saying, oh, I got facial hair, I got a dick and balls between my legs, but I feel like a woman today. I'm going to paint my nails and put makeup on because I just feel like a woman. No, bitch. You're weird. I'll give you that. You know, I'm sorry, but sex is not malleable. In fact, according to a lot of studies they've done, everybody's like, oh, well, it's a bad thing, it's terrible because people pick on them. The suicidality rate is the exact same between normal people and transgenders. And I will say normal and transgender. Because if you say you're transgender, you are not a normal person. And it's just another excuse to be different. Another excuse to hate somebody, basically. Like I said, I'm not transphobic. I just don't get the reasoning behind being transgender. Like I said, transsexuals are one thing. Transgender is just an ideology. Now, flat earthers. For one, you're retarded if you're a flat earther. Physics, math, geology, geography, astrology, all of these have time and time again proved the Earth is round. If you're a flat earther, how do we have gravity? How do we have gravity? See, 2,000 plus years ago, the Romans came out with the globe thing. They proved it 2,000 some odd years ago, before the whole birth of Christ crap. They proved the Earth was round. And not a lot of these guys were nearly as intelligent as the guys we have today. They didn't have astrologists that fly up there, go to the Hubble space station, and circle around the globe. They do. They circle these satellites. These astrologists go up into the space station and circle around the planet, taking pictures of every angle of the planet. Astronauts, all these astronauts that go up into space, take multiple pictures of the Earth's rotation. They videotape the Earth's rotation. And then they say that stars are not real, that extra planets are not real, that it's all Photoshop and shit. From the 1960s. Why would we lie about something like that? They tried this whole plane theory, where if the Earth was rotating and you jumped in a plane, you should just fly away if the Earth is really rotating. No, because you keep the same momentum as the thing you're in. It's just like what a lot of people have been saying, and I did this when I was a kid. You're standing in the back of a truck. The truck is going 45 miles an hour. You jump in the bed. You don't fly out of the truck. You land exactly where you jumped off of, because you're keeping the same momentum as the truck. You don't believe me? Stand in the back of a truck and have someone slam on the brakes. You'll keep going, because you are still holding all the energy that was being used on the truck. Your body doesn't stop. It's why people die in car crashes. That's why they tell you to wear your seatbelts when you're driving. Because if you do get in a car crash, it might actually save you. But you talk to a flat earther, they'll make up some bullshit story. It's a giant, dumb bowl of stupidity and conspiracy, is all it is. Here's my question. And this is about the transgender thing. Where did transgender originate from? Who's the first person that came out and said, "Hey, I'm transgender"? It's just a simple question. And I always found it funny. Transgenders say there's no difference between male and female. That's why it's so malleable. There's plenty of differences. A man can't hold a kid in their belly for 9 months and live. A man can't feed the baby with their nipples from milk that they make with their body when the baby comes out. A man can't push a baby through a pee hole like a woman can. Well, same area, different hole, I guess. A man doesn't bleed from his cock every 25 days or so. And same with this pay gap shit. When it comes to pay gap, no such thing. In fact, according to the studies they did in 2016, if you put a man and a woman in the exact same job doing the exact same with the exact same qualifications, the woman's predominantly making more. I mean, you see it every day, especially if you ever go to Applebee's or you go to some other restaurant. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a waitress, not a waiter. Mainly being because people like women more. Women are more appeasing to the eye than some butch dude. If you're a big dude, most people would rather see you, working construction or as a mechanic or something, what they would call a manly job. Don't get me wrong, I've known a lot of female mechanics, and they were brilliant mechanics. Women are brilliant. And then they say, what about the education? See, there's a wide spectrum on the education level. Women usually stay in one area. Men are on both sides of the spectrum. There's either really dumb or really, really smart when it comes to men. Women are usually up more towards the smarter area. Not all of them, but most of them. So yes, I am indeed saying that for the majority of the part, I would say women usually are more intellectually superior to men. In the aspect that women think more than men do. For example, there's this thing called an impulse buyer, where they just randomly buy stupid shit. They see it, they want it, they buy it. Like a dumbass Ariana Grande song. If you honestly believe that there is a pay gap in America, there's not. If you honestly think there is institutional racism, there is not. Institutional sexism, there is not. Now, if you actually find a document or a place that will not hire you because of your sex, let me know and I will stand right next to you and fight them with you. Because that is fucked up. We're all humans. We are all different humans. Everybody is different. With that being said, I still don't believe in the whole transgender thing. I don't see why it exists. It's stupidity. It's just stupidity in the beginning. And I know a lot of people are going to get pissed off about this, but I mean, look at it logically. If you were born a male or you were born a female, you grow up and you think you are the opposite sex. Personally, I would see that as a psychological problem. If you honestly look at yourself in the mirror and think you are a female and you are a dude, you need help. And I'm not saying that to be a dick. I'm saying that to, I feel bad for you, man. Or woman, or whatever the hell you happen to be. I feel bad for you because you're so confused and conflicted in your mind that you honestly believe you are the opposite sex. I can't sit there and let somebody dictate what I say. I'm not going to sit there and have to relearn basic biology because somebody wants to be called Z or Lee or Zen instead of them. No. I learned English in school just like everybody else did in America. I'm not going to sit there and call you Lee or Z or Zen because you don't look like a Lee, a Z, or a Zen. You look like a he or a she. There's only two genders. And while we're on the subject of genders and all that crap, gender dysphoria and all that, there's this thing that's been popping up for the last, I would say, 5-6 years. It's called a pansexual. Literally, the term pansexual means you don't have a type. You'll date anything. If you look up the actual term pansexual, if it is in the dictionary, I don't even know if it is, but if it is in the dictionary, it literally basically is saying you love everything. You'll give anybody a chance. Walked up to somebody that said they were pansexual, asked them, well, would you date me? No. Then you're not pansexual. Well, you're not my type. Pansexuals don't have a type. They don't. They'll give anybody a chance. Instead of calling yourself pansexual, why not call yourself an equal opportunist? I mean, it's the same thing. And it's another rant today because I've been arguing with these people, these flat earth idiots, on YouTube for a week over just a dumb comment. My comment, I said, it started it all. And it's for that Phil Philosophy guy. I told him, dude, I've been a subscriber for a couple of years now. I may not agree with everything he says. And I said, your proofs of flat earth are the same as proofs of religion, non-existent. You know, I mean, I like the ideology. I like how detailed these supposed proofs are, but there are no actual proofs of either of these. And, you know, Phil never once said anything about it, because I complimented him, even saying he was intelligent. He is a very intelligent dude. I don't agree with some of the crap he says, just like a lot of people don't agree with some of the stuff I say. But I'm not a flat earther. I'm a realist. If there's plenty of evidence, tangible proof, then, I mean, that's evidence right there. I had one, because this isn't the first time that me and these flat earth idiots got into it. And yes, if you're a flat earther, I'm calling you an idiot. You know, go back to school, man. Simple as that. Like, oh, you were indoctrinated. I'm an atheist, jackass. I'm anti-indoctrination. You're not going to indoctrinate me because I research everything you tell me. This guy sat there and straight told me, flat earth is better than atheism. So you literally just compared non-belief to a belief. Okay, I'll give you that. Atheism would be better than flat earth, because it's anti-belief in the subject. I'm an anti-flat earther there. So let's just go down the list of things I am. Anti-theist, atheist, anti-fairyist, anti-religion, and anti-flat earther. Oh yeah, anti-indoctrination, anti-child molestation, anti-spousal abuse. I can go on forever doing this. So, just to sum it all up, I'm anti-stupidity. And if I'm proven wrong, if someone actually sees this video and has tangible evidence of anything I say that's against anything I say, I will automatically get on here and apologize for me being wrong. But nobody has, because nobody has evidence of any of this crap. And, you know, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. It's like, I don't know what they're teaching you guys in school these days. You know, these safe space haven, you know, crybaby snowflakes. You know, these people need to grow up. You know, instead of being physically aggressive towards somebody that you don't agree with, when I have a conversation with them, you might learn something. And that person might learn something too. But what they're doing is they're shutting down speech completely. It's like when it comes to Democrats, if you will. They would rather you completely and wholly 100% depend on the government. Socialism. That's what they want. They want you to completely 100% depend on the government. They don't want you to ask questions. They just want you to do your work, shut up, and die. That's all they want. They don't care about you. They don't care if you're black. They don't care if you're white, Mexican, Asian, Puerto Rican, some purple dude from the South. They don't care who you are. As long as you make them more money, they don't care. They don't want you to ask questions. They don't want you to do anything besides what they tell you to do. They want you to depend so much on them, on the government, which is why they keep trying to ban guns. See, the Second Amendment is for you to defend yourself against a tyrannistic government. Who are the ones who's trying to shut it down? Not the Republicans, it's the Democrats. You know, of course, if you talk to a Democrat, they're going to make up some other dumb shit. And what I've come to realize is a lot of Democrats that I've talked to, and I've talked to a lot of them. I mean, I basically live in America's Mexico right now. The more of them I talk to, the more I've realized that a lot of the stuff they say has no merit and no sense in the slightest. You know, no evidence at all. I mean, hell, they were trying to say Trump was the reason why we have the coronavirus. It didn't even start here, you jackass. It started in China. And the reason why it got bigger is because China was shutting it down. Because they are a communistic country. Anytime something bad happens, they shut it down and keep it out of the media. Because they want everybody to see China as a big powerhouse when they're really not. I mean, yeah, we owe China a lot of money. We owe Japan money too. Yet, that disease started there. It didn't start here. While I'm on the subject of the coronavirus. Yes, there have been documented claims of the coronavirus in America. The one person who has died from the coronavirus in America was an elderly person who already had respiratory problems. The coronavirus, from what I've gathered, from what I've researched about it, which there's very scarce information on it because they're literally locking it up tight and throwing the key in a hole. From what I've gathered, is a respiratory system. It's a respiratory problem. So it's basically like pneumonia, if you will. If you're an elderly person or you have breathing problems, chances are it can hurt you. But people that are my age that are healthy, even though I'm a fatty, I'm still healthy. People that are healthy, that don't have respiratory problems, are completely okay. It's just like way back when the swine flu was hitting. Said swine flu was supposed to take out 1/3 of the planet. I didn't meet anybody with the swine flu. And barely anybody died from it. More people die from shark bites every year than anybody who died from the fucking swine flu. Hell, more people die because of this than they do from swine flu. And see, the numbers of the swine flu deaths vary from country to country. It depends on the state of the country. In Iraq, a lot of people have died because of their health care. These are the morons who believe that contraceptives, aka condoms and birth control, are worse than AIDS. Which, by the way, was pushed by the Catholic Church. See, all of this, and this is just a Monday, man. This week has started out just exciting. Just today, I've heard a lot of crap about transgenders, a lot of crap about the coronavirus, flat earthers, and of course religion, but that's normal for me. You know, being an atheist, people just throw the shit at you. No, everybody's like, oh, I live in the minority, I'm black, I'm minority. You know, atheists are the highest minority. Like, I think 12% of the whole United States, maybe, are atheists. And the ones that are atheists, most of them are closeted because most of their families are extremely religious. They'd rather you be a Satan worshiper than an atheist. So while we're at it, let's talk about atheism. Number one. Atheists don't believe in God. That's literally what atheist means. I do not believe in a God. Any of them. Thor, Zeus, Yahweh, the devil, angels, demons, nothing. None of it. I don't believe in any of it. That's the atheist thought. We do not believe in it because there's no evidence of any of it. I mean, yeah, they got all these movies. They got people who say, oh, I did an exorcism and they got better. See, religion itself, it's like when Christopher Hitchens was in a debate with one of the rabbis. A really well-known rabbi. He's actually a really nice guy from what I heard. He asked Christopher Hitchens, where does evil come from? And without skipping a beat, Christopher Hitchens said religion. You don't believe me? Look it up. It's under Christopher Hitchens' best comebacks or best reprieves, if you will. There's like 13 or 14 of them that I've seen. And, you know, you can't dispute them. because you have no evidence. See, it's just like the flat earthers and the transgenders and everybody else. The proof of burden is in your hands. You got to prove to me what you're saying is true. Because in the end of the day, you're trying to convert me into your belief, your ideology. So you have to prove it to me. The burden of proof isn't in my hands. So, with that being said, hey, I got most of it all done in 25 minutes. I'm getting better at this. With that being said, I'm going to go back to flat earthers because, like I said, I've been debating these idiots for a week over a basic comment that had nothing to do with dissing. It was a compliment to Red Phil because he is, he's entertaining to watch. If you ever get the chance, look up Red Phil philosophy. He's pretty entertaining. His earlier stuff was a lot better than his flat earth crap, but, it's very entertaining. It's good stuff. If you really want to learn, you've got to open your eyes. Don't just read a book. Do your own research. Do your own thing. Make sure that what you believe in is something you can actually fight for, something you can prove. That's just it. If you're going to argue over something that you believe in, then you better have the ammo to back it up. Because if you don't, you go to war with somebody, a debate or something, you're going to get slaughtered because you have no evidence whatsoever. And I see it time and time again when I see religious zealots going against an atheist like Richard Dawkins or Sam Harris, Dan Dennett, Neil deGrasse, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Penn from Penn and Teller. If you ever want to listen to arguments about atheism and Christianity, there is a podcast out there called The Atheist Experience. And this guy named Matt Dillahunty is one of my favorite dudes because he's extremely intelligent and he's charismatic. And he actually does do debates all over the United States and all over the world, from what I understand. He's not endorsing me, and I've never met the guy. Never met any of these guys. I wish I could have met Christopher Hitchens. But, watch these debates with an open mind. Because if you're closed-minded, the smallest thing will make you go, aha! So this is how it happened. This is why God is real. Don't do that. Go in there with a clear head. See, I went from Christian to agnostic, leaning towards atheism, to straight atheism. And people are like, how do you get your morality if you don't believe in God? And I turn it right around. How do you get your morality if you believe in God? You believe in this divine dictator that tells you to slaughter people who do not believe in what you believe. Who tells you that a woman is property. That your children, if your children say no to you, then you should take them to the town elder, aka the preacher, and have them stoned. That slavery was okay according to your God. So don't tell me you get good morality from these guys, because you clearly don't. In fact, you'd be morally superior to these guys if you do not believe in any of the stuff that I just named off. Which, if you are a good human being, then you should completely deny everything that's in there. Then yeah, you could believe in God. You can have these toys for yourself. Just don't push them to me, and if I have kids, don't push it on them. Let them decide. One of my buddies asked me one time, well, if you had a kid and they grew up being Christian, would you be okay with that? I'd still love them, yeah. You don't have to agree with everything when it comes to children. You don't have to agree with everything when it comes to somebody you love. My wife right now, me and her first got together, she was Christian. Now she's more on the fence. She's more agnostic. So I'm almost there. I love my mom and my dad to death. My dad's a preacher. My mom's a preacher's wife. The kids they adopted, I love all of them too. My little brother and my little sisters, I love them all to death. They're all Christians. Religion shouldn't make you hate somebody. If it really was good for people, it wouldn't entice hate. And if it was true, you shouldn't have to go to church for some old man to yell at you about the sins of the flesh and everything every freaking week. I can even quote something from the Bible. I can quote something that Jesus Christ said. Christ is in your heart, not in a building. You don't have to dress nice to impress, to be a God-fearing person. You don't have to go to church or even own a Bible to be a God-fearing person. That's in that book. And then the book turns around and says, this is one of the things that always made me laugh. It says, thou shalt not worship idols. What the hell is the statue of Jesus? The cross? Or make idols of me. So any pictures of Jesus getting slaughtered, the Jesus thorns picture, Mary, they're all idols. So you're literally stabbing that command in the butt. It's literally what you're doing. And I had one person come up to me the other day who's actually seen these videos, says, why do you smoke when you're in the videos? It sounds like an illogical thing, and yes, I build a lot of my stuff on logistics. But for me, I'm having a conversation with whoever's going to be watching this video. Granted, I'm not hearing anything they're saying in return. Listener are probably going to call me a quack or a loser or dumbass, whatever. But smoking is social for me. I don't smoke a lot in the house. Nor do I smoke a lot at work. I smoke when I'm being social. I smoke when I drink, but I don't smoke that often. I mean, granted, if you're watching these videos, I smoke a lot. It's calming for me. It helps me think. It's one of those things where, if you're smoking, if you are a smoker, you get what I mean. If you're not a smoker, you have no idea what I mean. A person came up to me the other day, a person that I've known for a while, and asked me, why don't I quit smoking? I told him, I've been smoking since I was 13 years old. It's not as easy as just cold turkey. Most people that say, I quit cold turkey, why? I mean, I understand. A great example, I work with a guy. He said he quit smoking cigarettes, full turkey. He substitutes it with bud, smokes weed all the time. Well, each is their own, I understand. Especially with the job we have, I completely understand. But if I'm going to quit, I'm not going to quit cold turkey. Because it's better for you to quit slowly. Just like with drinking. Quitting cold turkey can actually hurt you. Because your body acts like it needs the alcohol. Your mind is telling your body you need the alcohol. That's why you get cravings. Same with your body saying you need nicotine. Because both of them are addictive drugs. They are a drug. Alcohol is called as like a class 3 or class 4 narcotic. I mean, it's basically like, if you quit drinking, the first thing they give you is opiates. Because they trigger the same part of the brain. Opiates are extremely illegal. And they're also highly addictive. So you're literally throwing one addiction away for the other. With smoking, they have this new drug called Chantix. Anybody who's seen the commercials for Chantix can vouch for this. The side effects for Chantix are worse than just smelling like an ashtray. I'm sorry, but if I have to worry about like heart problems, lung tissue cancer, anal seepage, whatever else they have out there, I'm just gonna smoke, man. And it is a proven fact. People who are quitting smoking are usually assholes because their body's saying, "Hey, you need nicotine, man. You need it. You need it. You need it. You need it." It's like a meth head saying they constantly need meth. I've talked to people who haven't smoked meth in years, but they still say they loved it. Even though it wasn't good for them. It was terrible for them. I've never done it, and I never will. Because I don't see the reason behind it. It's like, why would you want to smoke something that's like 90% poison for you? Stay up for 3 to 7 days and be completely paranoid out of your fucking mind. I've seen some of the nicest people on the planet, some of the best people I've ever met, threw their lives away for that drug. For crystal meth. For cocaine. For heroin. There was a guy I went to school with. He had a lot of kids because he couldn't keep his dick in his pants. He lost every one of them because he couldn't get away from that needle. Those drugs destroy people. Absolutely destroy people. And anybody who said, "Oh, my life was okay when I was on meth. I loved meth." You're mental. You might as well just jump on the religion bandwagon because you're about as dumb as the rest of them. Or jump on the flat earther because it's the same damn thing. You're dropping one addiction for another. With the flat earth theory, I don't even know where to begin or end with these idiots. I can tell these guys physics evidence, mathematical evidence, astrological stuff, and they still will not take the hint that their ideology is dumb. It's a freaking cult, basically. It doesn't matter how much proof you have against what they say, they automatically still believe it. So these guys are... I'm pretty sure some of the flat earthers out there are pretty brilliant. And I'm pretty sure the flat earth theory started with celebrities. Is idiots love celebrities. They look up to celebrities. Why? Why look up to these guys who all they do is they get lines? They're excellent readers, obviously. You get lines. You read the line. You act out a scene. That's it. You get paid a shit ton of money to look good on screen. People get jealous of celebrities. Why? They get paid to look like those little Barbie dolls. They get paid to look like a jackass or be a muscle-bound retard. That's what they're getting paid to do. Why get jealous of them? Why look up to them? Why look up to, back when I was younger, everybody looked up to, the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney Spears, and Christina Aguilera. Why? Why look up to these guys? They're not any smarter than some dumb kid from high school. They're not. They're the same freaking person, they just have some talents. Honestly, most of them can't even really sing. Look at all the Backstreet Boys. Look at all of NSYNC. Name 5 people who still sing. Who still push out records and make a lot of money. I can only name one. Justin Timberlake. If you're talking about Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, I haven't seen Christina Aguilera push out any new albums. Britney Spears comes out with a new song like every 6 or 7 months. I'm not saying they're good songs, but she comes out with them. Her music video is entertaining. She's hot. I'm not gonna lie, I've always had a crush on Britney. I had a crush on Christina too. And I was a dumb kid. When you're a young kid, you see these people on TV, you idolize the people, you try to be them. Then, once these people inevitably do something really stupid, instead of sitting there saying, well, maybe I shouldn't look up to these people, you instantly back them up. Then they start going political. Like Ben Affleck, for example. Not an expert in anything. Not even that good of an actor. You know, the only thing he has about him is he's from Boston. He's a Boston boy. That's all he has. And I mean, he played a decent Batman. He played a pretty good Batman. I'll give him that. But, you know, unless they are actually intellectually superior to you about something, why listen to them? These people just... Celebrities need to stop pushing political agendas when they win an award. You know, I can't watch the VMAs anymore. Or not VMAs. I can't watch the Golden Globe nominees anymore. Because that's all they do. Anytime one of those idiotic people win an award for a movie that probably sucked in the first place, they go up there, they thank everybody and God, and then they push a political agenda. Why? Just because you're Democratic, which 90% of those idiots are, does not mean you need to push your agenda. We all know who supports you. We all know anybody who goes against the grain of the people who run the show are not going to get an award, no matter how good they acted. Anyway, I gotta get inside, take care of my dogs. Like and subscribe if you would, please. Bye.